So there's a certain song that really reminds me of the sixth house, but I can only hum it since this is YouTube and they will demonetize my video even though it's not even monetized. But it goes like this. And the singer of the song, her name rhymes with banana and not banana. I just want everyone to know that. It's Rihanna, okay? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the sixth house. The sixth house is all about work, work, and more work. I know that people like to romanticize the sixth house. Some people with planets in the sixth house try to be like, well, it's not that bad. Well, we always talk about how having planets in the 12th house and the 8th house is very difficult. And yes, it is. I am a victim of not a victim of the 12th house. I am a 12th house person. I'm a fellow 12th house lady, like many of you guys are. But people seem to forget that the sixth house is one of the bad houses too. So, my name's Denise. I'm your friendly local astrologer. I like to make videos to help people incorporate astrology into their everyday life, make it actually usable, practical, so that you can get the most out of your chart. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And I'm gonna shut up and get into the video. So like I said, we're talking about the sixth house. So if you haven't seen any of my other house videos, I'm gonna leave like the playlist down there, and they kind of go together in the sense that, to me, the houses really are best explained when you think about places that you can go, kind of like locations. So when we think of the sixth house, I'm going to be talking about different places that the sixth house can be. And if you've seen the 8th and the 12th, you're probably like, oh, it's gonna be like a cool, like mystical place. The sixth house is not a cool or mystical place. I guess it could have been. I could have been a little creative with it, but I decided to be direct with the sixth house and just go straight into it. The sixth house is the broom closet. So what do you have in the broom closet? You have your mop, you have your dustpan, you have a bucket in there. It's all your chores. It's all the stuff that you have to do in order to just go on with your life. No one really notices those things. Those are kind of like the unsung chores or the unsung work that you do that nobody praises you for. Like, I can have really clean floors or really dirty floors and no one's really gonna notice because, well, they're wood, so you can't really see the dust. But that's the kind of thing that is found in the sixth house. It's the stuff that, you know, making copies at your 9-to-5 job, at your desk job. It is the things that no one really cares about because they only care about the final product. They only care about what goes on in the 10th house. No one really sees what goes on inside of your broom closet. All the stuff that it takes to keep your house functioning and working. So the next place that the sixth house can be is the medicine cabinet, because the sixth house also holds health. And so all the stuff that goes on in the sixth house also has to do with your lifestyle and the way that you take care of your health. And it's more the house of illness. The first house is more the house of health, but your routine builds your health. So this would also hold the kind of illnesses that you're prone to, that you might be prone to having. If you guys are interested in figuring out what kind of diseases you might be prone to with planets in the sixth house or signs in the sixth house, let me know in the comments so that I could either write an article on my website or make another video talking about that. So yes, it's also the medicine cabinet. Think about what these two things have in common. No one really likes to get sick and no one really likes to do chores. Like, no one really likes to clean, but it has to be done. And the next place that I like to think about when I think about the sixth house is the backstage area of a concert. So where you have all of the wires, all of the stuff that makes the front stage look nice, where all the light, you know, the front stage of the concert has Beyonce, you know, singing, and the beautiful lights and the glitter and the candles and the dancers, and everybody's dressed up and looks perfect. And behind the scenes, you have all of the wires, all of the makeup artists that are all like raggedy and tired from working all day. They're all sweaty, they're hot, they're melting. But Beyonce looks perfect on that stage because she is the final product. The final product is you in the 10th house. That is your final product. But all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that no one gets to see, that is the sixth house. And lastly, this one, I had to put it in here. Where else would the sixth house be? It would also be the litter box, because the sixth house also holds pets. And the reason why it holds pets, again, because it's a laborious effort that you have to put in order to have pets. So think about pets do give us a lot in return, but think about all the work you have to do to take care of a pet. You have to walk them, you have to bathe them, you have to give them their little gummy vitamins so that they can live a really long time, groom them, cut their little toenails and their hair, all the stuff that clean their litter box. All of the things that you have to do, all these little chores that you have to do in order to have a pet. That is why it is housed in the 6th house. So think about all the things that we just talked about. What do they have in common? Again, it is things that people don't normally like to do. It's like stuff we have to do, but we don't really like it. Like, you like having a puppy and you love having a dog, but do you really want to pick up his poo from the park? You don't. You have to do it though, in order to have your pet and to, oh my God, I have something in my eye. So it's all the stuff that you have to do in order to have the good stuff that you have in your life. So all the money that you want, all of the comfortable surroundings that you want to be found in, all of those things are going to be had through the work that goes on in your 6th house. So if you have planets in the 6th house, you might not get the applause that you deserve. People who have a lot of 6th house planets, they are very laborious people. They do a lot of work and they're the tinkerers of the zodiac. Again, you might hear a resonance between this and Virgo because, again, it's the 6th house of Virgo. So these people they do a lot of work and they can be really excellent crafts people and really excellent artists, but they don't get the recognition that they deserve because they have it in the 6th house. And people, for whatever reason, we look down on things that are laborious and tedious, so we don't necessarily appreciate people who have planets in the 6th house the way that we should and the way that they deserve to be appreciated. So this can be difficult if you have your sun there. This can be difficult, especially also if you have planets in Leo in the 6th house, or if you have your midheaven in Leo and you have a sun in the 6th house. This is very tough because Leo planets, they want recognition. They need the praise. That is what they are. It's natural to them. It's not that they're self-centered. That is just the nature of Leo. It requires that appreciation. But if it is found in the 6th house, my lash is really bothering me. But if you have the planets in the 6th house, then you are not going to get the recognition that you really deserve and need. So what do? We're going to go into some tips. What do you do if you have planets in the 6th house? So if you have a lot of planets in the 6th house, or you find you're a Virgo who has a craft, something that you do, that you practice, that you work on, and you haven't actually had it be a success. Okay, so what do? So the first question you have to ask yourself is, can you sell your craft? Can you sell it? Can you put it on Etsy and put a price tag on it? If it's a service, can you get yourself a website? Can you make a website or make a YouTube to promote your website and your service? You could also put it on Craigslist, but that's a little iffy. It's a little sus. So it's a little, ask yourself whether you can sell this craft that you're making or this service that you are providing. And don't sell yourself short. I'm sure that the thing that you work on, there is a market for it. You just don't really see it if you're a 6th house person because you're so hard on yourself and you kind of want to keep working and working and working until it's perfect. Which leads me to the second. Give yourself the rest that you absolutely need. When you're a 6th house person, you work really hard. You're always working behind the scenes, working. People might not realize how much you work. So make sure that you are giving yourself the rest that you require, because planets in the 6th house can be weakened, because remember, it's also the house of illness. So make sure that you take care of those planets so that they don't become ill, okay? And lastly, this is from one of my favorite authors, Seth Godin, and he said, remember that shipped is better than perfect. Shipped is a product or something that you've created that is already out. It's out there in the world that you're no longer working on. People who have a lot of planets in the 6th house, and Virgos also, can have a tendency to just work and work and work because they want their thing to be perfect. They want it to be absolutely perfect, faultless. Not necessarily because they want other people to think it's perfect. They want to feel that it's perfect, because Virgo people and 6th house people, they notice every minor detail and they can't help themselves. They notice all the details, and because of that, they're just no, I'm just gonna keep working and working and working. But you're never going to create perfection. And you have to understand that if you keep working, you're never gonna put your work out there into the world for somebody else to appreciate or to pay you for, Virgo or 6th house person. So don't keep tinkering away forever, and remember that shipped is better than perfect. So that's the video for today, guys. What did you think? Do you have any planets in the 6th house? I don't really have planets in the 6th house. My only claim to Virgo fame in my chart is that I have a Virgo South node and it squares my moon. I love Virgo energy though, and when people are just like, Denise, are you a Virgo? I'm just like, thank you for thinking that. No, I'm not, but thanks. It makes me really happy when people think I'm a Virgo. I had a student who said who always said he wanted to be a Virgo. Ben doesn't watch my videos, but that's okay. So thanks so much for being here, guys. I will see you in the next one. If you have any video ideas, remember to leave them in the comments, and thanks for being here. Bye.